Yeah, obviously a busy summer. Lots of new faces. I like the moves. I thought Kenny and the management team did a great job. Now it's on the players and the coaching staff to put it together. And we have high expectations in here for ourselves. And we've been building something here for the last couple of years, and it's time to put it all together.
I just want to ask you about the addition of Zach Hyman, and I guess how well do you know him, and what does he bring to the team, and what does it mean to the team to get someone like that to join you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to know Hyman just kind of over the summer. He's a Toronto guy, local guy. Came and started to work out there at Gary Roberts' place, and got to know him, and he's a great guy. His on ice game speaks for itself. Off the ice, he's a true pro. A leader. Does all the right things. So he's a massive addition for us.
And just last one from me, I just want to ask you about, the trajectory with you and Leon is, you still have pretty high ceiling. Just your thought on Leon and I guess what kind of do you see out of him this year, and can he keep that trajectory going in your opinion?
Yeah, I think for all the core guys, we got to continue to get better. I think that's the only way we get better as a group is if internally we continue to push and strive for better, and continue to grow our games, develop our games all over the rink, the D zone, all over the place. So I think that's the biggest opportunity for our group is if we continue to push internally to get better.
Thanks, Connor.
Connor, nice to see you again. I'm just curious, I know it's our very early days here, but do you get a sense of maybe something that you have in this group with some of the new guys that maybe you didn't have or that was possibly missing last season?
I think you definitely get a sense just more veteran guys. I think the additions that we made, just some older voices, some guys that have been around and played in some big scenarios and big games, and I think I just noticed that right off the top.
A lot was made about obviously the playoff series a couple years ago with playing Chicago and Duncan Keith and that. What did you see from him in that season? Because you didn't get to play against him last season. So what did you see from him in that series that obviously you might like what you see in him coming to the Oilers?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago we were in the bubble. So I like what he brings to the game. I like his intensity. He skates so well, and he's one of those guys that's played in every big game there is to play in. So he's obviously got a big veteran voice. His leadership in the room, and and he's got he's very determined. I think just getting that sense from him, talking to him after the trade and all that, seems like a very motivated guy, and certainly like a motivated Duncan Keith on my team.
A lot was made, after the playoffs about you not getting any penalty calls against you in that Jets series. I know you spoke about it, or you were asked about it rather, when you got your awards there. Just curious in terms of the competition committee, what do you kind of say, or what do you advocate for in those kind of talks and meetings in terms of trying to maybe get a little bit more benefit of the doubt for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to say it's always a tough job what the refs have to do. It's a quick game out there, lots of things going on. They got lots to watch, and there's only two of them. So, I think overall, I think you just want to see some consistency, consistency from game to game, consistency throughout the night, from period to period. I think that's what everyone's striving for. Obviously, they're human too, and they have their own opinions, and see the game maybe a little bit differently, but. I think overall they just want that consistency, and again, it's such a hard job, and they're never going to be perfect, but they do the best they can do.
I know Ken Holland was saying it kind of comes down to calling the rule book, but hockey is a game of interpretation of the rules. Obviously, is it possible to call the rule book, or does it vary? Do you think from game to game?
That's a good question. I think you obviously want to call the rule book. That's what it's there for. If you call each and every one, I think there's lots of penalties. But if there's lots of penalties, there's lots of penalties. That's just the way it is. I think the rule book's there for a reason, and you want it called with integrity, and if you let guys get away with certain things, they're going to keep getting away with it. I mean, it's again, it's a tough job, and something that I don't envy, but. yeah.
And just last one for me. I mean, you had quite the Oilers East there in Toronto. I know you talked about Zach Hyman, Warren Fogle there too. What did you learn about some of those new guys, and did you kind of forge any type of bond with the kind of group that you had there?
Yeah, it was great. I think we have five Oiler guys working out in the same group, so it's always good when you can train with your teammates in the summer, and obviously it's tough to work on things, but just to get to know them. I mean, most of them already knew. Obviously, Himes is the new guy, so it was good for him to get in and see some familiar faces. So definitely good.
Hey, Connor. The goal of this team for the past couple of years was just to get into the playoffs, and you guys did that. You kind of showed that you were a playoff team. Do you have a better sense now, having been through it a couple of times, of what it's going to take to obviously reach the next goal, and that's to push through, win a round or two?
I mean, the first goal coming into every year is obviously make the playoffs. It's not an easy thing to do, as we know. We've been able to do it the last couple of years, but you can't take that for granted. I think that's got to be the main focus and the first focus, and obviously you go from there. It's a long year as well, so there's going to be highs and lows and ups and downs, and I think just a more veteran team, a team that's kind of been through a little bit more, I think, will help us to stay maybe a little more even keeled, and help us obviously reach our ultimate goal, and that's get in, and you never know what could happen.
Yeah, is that something, I guess, that has to start from the very beginning, is how you view the season, how you approach games, how you even win games, the way you play? Does that need to, be a different look?
Yeah, I think obviously that's the focus right from day one. Like I said, it's a long season, but it can get away on you quick, and you need to bank your points, while you can. It's certainly, it's a little bit easier to get your points in October and November than it is in March and April. So you want to bank your points early and get off to a good start, and that's our first and main focus right now.
You've been a patient guy throughout this rebuilding process. Are you still in that headspace, or are you thinking like, it's the time is now here to get this thing rolling?
Definitely thinking the time is now. I think I'm 24 years old. Nursey and Dry are 25, 26 years old. Nuge 28. So the old excuse that we're young guys is no longer. So for us as a group, I think the time is now to start really pushing this thing. Kenny's done his job and gone out and got pieces and added some things, and like I said, it's on us now to put the thing together.
Do you guys have an internal vaccination policy just within the room, how you guys want to approach things, or is it still every guy for himself?
The vaccine thing is obviously very complicated and very political, and I'm going to stay away from it for now. But everyone's got their right to choose what they want to do, and obviously you want to keep everyone safe, and that was the main focus last year. It's a focus this year as well. So.
Thank you.
It's been a while since we've been in this room together doing our job. What about your room? And does it feel a little more normal as you kind of get back to work again?
It does feel a little bit more normal in the sense that we're expecting fans, and we're going to go play in the States, and we're not just going to be in one division. So I think in that way it feels a little more normal. Obviously there's still lots of rules, and we're still in here wearing masks and socially distanced and all that. So there's still things that are not normal, but it certainly feels a little more normal this year heading into what looks like a normal schedule.
And are these just some of the signs that maybe we're getting closer to being back to normal too?
You're asking me questions that are for higher up people than me, but I guess so. It's a good sign that we're in here together, and you guys can come back and be at the rink, and we can all be together. So I guess it's a step in the right direction.
Thanks.
Good day. Just to circle back to Hyman for a second, can you maybe give us some detail about specific things about his game that you feel might complement you if you guys wind up being on the same line?
Yeah, you just see how hard he works. He wins battles, gets pucks off the wall. I think those are all things that you want in any line mate. and he's got a lot more skill than people give him credit for. He's just a great player, and whoever gets to play with him, I think will work well.
And I mean, obviously, you referenced Fogle. Derek Ryan was signed to play a certain role. When you look at, if you want to call it the top 12 or the 13 forwards that'll be on the team, do you think guys are slotted in their designed, expertise areas than maybe you've had on rosters in the past?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've definitely added some speed up front, some tenacity, guys that work hard. Not to say that the guys that we've had before don't work hard, but just to see Fogle out there, Himes, Ryan, how hard they work, and these are all guys that are well respected around the league and very good at what they do. So I like those additions. Yeah.